All right, item number 3, Sutter Butte's Energy Watch presentation. Looks like we have George and Carrie. George Barlow, Carrie Hauk from Sapphire Group. Take about a 15-second pause.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and members of the City Council. I'm Carrie Hauk with Sapphire Marketing Group. We are your local partner in executing the Sutter Butte's Energy Watch partnership. So you, as the City of Yuba City, are the local government partner, the LGP. And then the City of Yuba City is working with Sapphire Marketing Group to do outreach, conduct outreach and education to our local public municipalities. And we thank you for that. So I'd like to briefly introduce my business partner, Dee Dee Brady, in the back of the room. She's definitely my partner in this and helps execute every aspect of this program. What our purpose is to identify long-term energy efficiency projects at local municipalities. There's 9 incorporated cities, counties in our region, and we are going in and seeing what projects they have that might be incentivized by PG&E, whether it's a lighting upgrade or participating in a pump replacement project that, say, a pump that doesn't have a variable frequency drive on it. We're helping them replace those pumps. And in those hard-to-reach areas, which part of the City of Yuba City is considered hard to reach, the incentives can be up to 25% of the project cost. So it can be significant. I'm going to point out 2 projects that we cultivated in the first part of this year. I didn't have a relationship really with the City of Williams yet, and I developed a relationship with them, met with their city manager. He put me in contact with our water plant and the supervisor out there, and they have a pump that provides 2/3 of the water to the City of Williams that is not operating at peak efficiency. And they've already done some testing, and they had already taken some steps toward the advanced pump efficiency replacement project through PG&E. So it looks like when they replace that pump, which will be October of this year, they will receive approximately 25% incentive on the cost of the pump replacement and testing. City of Wheatland, Jim Goodwin, who used to be with City of Live Oak, is now out there, and I had a relationship with him from City of Live Oak. Found out they have 8 pumps that they're going to be replacing, and they're also upgrading all their lights to LEDs. So just having those, I look at us like the purveyor of the relationship, and then we connect them with their PG&E customer service rep. Some of the examples of things we do are go into buildings, all the city and county buildings, we measure them, we document the use of that space, and then we can upload that into the Energy Star portfolio manager and compare how your buildings are operating as far as energy efficiency to other buildings of their same size and use throughout the state of California. And that would help us identify opportunities for greater energy efficiency. You can contact us when any equipment needs upgraded. And we also PG&E offers 0% on-bill financing for projects, and that can be up to $4 million. It's a huge amount. And they'll just put it on your power bill, and it'll be 0% interest. And we are offering no-cost training. We offered one in March of this year, and the topic was more legislative than anything, but making sure that our local municipalities are in compliance with AB 32. And we also talked about the importance of having an energy efficiency officer. We also talked about some online tools to help municipalities monitor their energy efficiency. Another thing we can offer is a greenhouse gas inventory. So you will need, as a city, you are in compliance with AB 32, you're all good. But from there, when was the last time a greenhouse gas inventory has been done for the city to make sure that you're helping meet that 15% greenhouse gas reduction that it requires? So we can do that for you. We can get your greenhouse gas inventory done for you this year. And then one of the other things that we're really encouraging with municipalities is to develop a revolving energy efficiency fund. So say you engage in a project, say you engaged in a lighting project and it saved you $5,000 a year. We would ask that you would earmark that $5,000 in anticipated savings for your next energy efficiency project so that you already have some money allocated for it. So we are encouraging that throughout the region. And then obviously we talked about AB 32, but you are in compliance with that. So that is great. So just a little background for those of you who might not be familiar, AB 32 is the legislation that requires California to reduce its greenhouse gas inventories to 1990s levels, which is approximately 15%. So every city and county is being asked to try and bring theirs down 15%. And you would be surprised with some of the technology upgrades that we've experienced since this legislation went into place. A lot of municipalities have already reduced that 15%. Every incorporated city and county must develop a plan. You have yours. It's called a resource efficiency plan. And I believe it's already on your website. And that is another thing we're encouraging because the state is going in and making sure that municipalities are in compliance. So they are getting that from your website. Okay, this is the thing that I'm really pushing as well, is just making sure you have an energy efficiency officer here at the city. Who's in charge of your green team? Is there somebody that might come in during non-business hours and do an energy audit, see what's left on, what can we do to what can we unplug, what lighting can we replace, et cetera. So I think that's really important as California continues to demand the greater reductions in traditional grid energy independence with it. So some other things that you can do as a city council are consider ordinances that are driven by energy neutrality. So any possible new construction that wants to come into the city of Yuba City, maybe their power is generated by the building, whether it's solar or whatever it might be, that they're just completely energy neutral. We do have a Title 24 training coming up, and we are inviting, we'd like to see the building officials, planners, that sort of thing from the city come. Of course, elected officials are always welcome. The last training, I thought it was really great because the municipalities that were here, they all got to share information of what they're doing surrounding energy efficiency. And I just thought it was a really good conversation. And when we share, we can learn and we can make greater strides. So I will let you know, I am meeting with them over the phone next week. So I will let you know the date and time of the next training. And this is just who should attend that training. And now I'm going to turn it over to George.
Thank you, Mayor, council members. Again, my name is George Barlow, Administrative Analyst here at the city. What I want to bring forward to you is the Financial and Accountability Report. This report stems from the December 28th meeting where staff was asked to come back this month and finalize and give this report. I must apologize, in December, it was pulled from consent, and I didn't have all the information then. Hopefully I have it now. And I hope that this information fulfills your questions and your needs. So in LGP, local government partnership, the structure is actually regulated by CPUC. And then the IOUs, like PG&E, actually receive the funds for this type of program. How the funds are actually received, two different ways. One is a utility users tax. So part of that utility users tax actually goes to things like Sacramento Energy Efficiency Commission and funds different programs. For this particular program, you actually have to break down your bill. All ratepayers understand the bill. There is what's called an electric public purpose program. That portion is a surcharge. So that surcharge is what actually funds these types of programs. And again, the IOU will receive those funds, distribute those funds through Yuba City as an LGP to fund Sutter Butte's Energy Watch program. So the question back in December was what occurred in 2017 and 2018. So what I'd like to do quickly is just break that down for you. Back in 2017, how the funds were allocated and distributed to the LGP. So allocation was made by PG&E through an award system. A RFP was actually submitted to PG&E for this process, and during the process, PG&E has broken down local areas. So our local area covers the area that Carrie was talking about. So we received in 2017 $150,000. Actually, $30,000 of that was from 2016. It was just a carryover. Usually PG&E doesn't do that, but for this year, it was like a 2-year cycle. So they carried over $30,000 from 2016. So how the allocations actually break down in these contracts is right around 10 to 12% is allocated to administration. That goes directly to the cities involved, the LGPs, which in this case, it was $14,000. And for a time and material allocation to Sapphire Marketing, $136,000. So you see the cost breakdown for the time and material, the actual marketing and implementation costs, $125,259. And that's really for all the marketing to small, medium-sized businesses, SMBs, we call them, for energy efficiency savings. So that's when we get into the lighting retrofits, the different energy savings for a company, which then Sapphire Marketing would actually market the program to them and have those communications and talks with various businesses, business owners. So allocation to the city for administration was $13,475. I spent right around 208 hours in 2017. So if you calculate that out, it's about $64 an hour that we received from PG&E for administration costs. So non-spin was right around $11,265 on that particular contract. And really the reason behind that was that we didn't roll out and get started on the contract until April of 2017. So how the breakdown is out of the $125,000, $78,040 Sapphire contracted an hourly rate, which is $80 an hour for the services related to advisory, really going out to the various businesses, the SMBs, to talk about the programs, actually work through the programs. So let's say a company actually wanted a retrofit, a lighting retrofit. Carrie would work through the whole process from beginning to end. And then there's companies called implementers. The implementers actually install the lighting retrofits. So she would actually work with the installers as well, all the way through the program. So that was the time consideration. The $47,219 are costs associated with advertising and marketing expense, those materials that it really costs to advertise, whether it be pamphlets, brochures, the website, building the website, etc. 2018 allocation, a little bit less allocation in 2018. Total $120,000, $12,000 to administration, and $108,000 allocated to time and material costs. Actual spend for Sapphire Marketing was $77,288, and again that was for marketing implementation. And then we spent the $12,000 for the administration costs. And again, that's about 180 hours there of administration time, which averages out about $66 an hour. We had $30,000 non-spent out of the contract. And really, throughout the year, what PG&E did about halfway is change the structure of the contract, where it was structured more for small, medium-sized businesses, and that's where Sapphire Marketing was directing their business to, and how they would market or actually contact. And it really changed to public agencies about halfway through 2018. PG&E wanted our LGP to concentrate strictly on public agencies. So in doing so, it was quite of a change in how we did stuff. We actually had to ramp back up in training and requirement, and lost some time. We require in our contract to Sapphire Marketing, they cannot bill over 22 hours a week. So within that, late starts in doing public agencies caused a shortfall there. So here's the breakdown: $68,800 in time costs allocated again to SMBs. I think I went backwards, didn't I? 68.8 for the time costs for consulting SMBs and public sector there. And then 8,488, because halfway through the year, we started really going out to public agencies. It lessened the cost in how we're driving our information to the public agencies versus small businesses. In 17 and 18, we really worked off of KPIs. So key performance indicators based on the local area energy efficiency savings, how much that we actually saved in our local LGP. Our KPI that PG&E presented to us for the 2 years totaled in gross kilowatts, 102, in gross kilowatt hours, 1,300,000. That's the goals that we needed to achieve, and it's broken down into those 2 years. And actually, Sapphire Marketing made a total of 94 program referrals. And within those referrals, we saw a savings, or a gross kilowatt savings of 101.4 kilowatts and over 3.8 million kilowatt hours. Incentives to the actual businesses in these local areas was over $500,000. Now, if we equate that the way that PG&E equates it into a 10-year status, your multi-million-dollar savings in actual dollar savings. So this was just the incentive savings by saving those companies actual dollars on products that they may have already are in the slot for purchasing. So award for 2019 was $66,500, which back in December, council approved. And so that was broken down, $60,000 to Sapphire Marketing on a T&M allocation, and $6,500 for administration. So as of the end of April, Sapphire Marketing has billed PG&E $16,198, and administration costs $2,260. Sapphire Marketing does direct bill. So in their billing, it actually comes to me first. I approve the billing. I go through the billing, make sure that all the information is there. Again, it's based on time and material. So all the time is actually filled out by Sapphire Marketing on everything that they do, and any type of material costs. Currently, what's remaining in this current contract from May to the end of the year is $48,041. So how do we measure? We measure and through our project management, very similar key performance indicators. We started this year, and I apologize, that's real small, but we started this year with PG&E, and PG&E came to us and said, here's this bucket of money. You tell us, what are you going to do with it? And how are you going to break this bucket of money down into specific areas? So actually, the way that we broke it down is really an identification sector of how are we going to identify these particular agencies. As Carrie mentioned, that there's 9 agencies that are incorporated in our specific areas, but out of those 9 agencies, there's actually 93 facilities that we could go out to, Sapphire Marketing could go out to and actually market to these energy efficiency programs. So really, in our identification, we want to identify each one of those 93, make sure that we boiled it down to exactly which organizations we would touch on. And I'm sorry, I don't have my large Gantt chart here, but I would show you my large Gantt chart, which actually breaks those down so we can focus on what targets are we going to achieve, which rolls back to the KPIs that are worked out with Sapphire Marketing. As you see here, we build in the budget for this particular sector, $37,400. We've spent $11,500 in this particular sector. So we know where the spend is and where it's coming from. So Carrie mentioned training. Training is big this year because we want to get out to public agencies and we want to talk about these particular things. Like AB 32, greenhouse gas, make sure that they have a cap, just so that our public agencies are in compliance come 2020 when it's definitely necessary. So in our training, we had 1 training. We have 3 more trainings set up for this year. Total spend on the budget, $14,500. And currently through April, we've spent a little over $4,000. So the other thing is policies. Carrie mentioned that they can go to an agency that maybe hasn't developed a specific ordinance or policy, and through PG&E, we can help them actually develop those, whether it might be a CAP, a GHG, just to help that agency. And those are funded through PG&E. Another one is awareness building, really on the marketing end, how we build awareness to public agencies on the various things that we can do. And one of the things that Sapphire Marketing did this year, right now, is a little brochure that has been sent out to various agencies, to those specific people that work on these particular types of things. Any questions?
Through the mayor, thank you for the to Carrie and to you, George, for the presentation. This might be directed to our interim city manager, but do we have an energy efficiency officer?
I don't know that we actually have a designated energy efficiency officer. Through our resource efficiency plan, we've identified a matrix of different things that individuals can do for new development, and then looking at city facilities, we've looked at ways that we can implement energy efficiency measures.
Okay. Does the plan require a designated person, or can it be delegated as the city has it currently staffed?
No, it doesn't. But what we built and what Carrie was really talking about is best practices. So in looking across California, in regards of where SEEC is coming on working these types of programs, there is agencies that do have that body of work. Unfortunately, or fortunately, it's usually big cities. It's usually large staff, large cities that have those kind of things set up.
Thank you.
Through the mayor, just want to say thank you to both of you. I was the I'll call it the brainchild of this back in December because it was on the consent and I asked for it to be pulled. Thank you for presenting it. That answers all the questions that I had concerning the budgetary and how the program works. So I just want to say thank you.
All right.
Through the mayor.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate the fact that the request was made. You scheduled it on the time frame that you were asked, and you clearly answered every single question, and even demonstrated a lot of cost savings for our community. And I think that's really valuable in energy savings. We earlier had just a conversation about how that is important in our personal lives. So as a community, for what we're doing, I think is really valuable as well. So thank you so much.
All right. Question? All right. Thank you very much, both of you.
Yep.